Savitri, a legend and a symbol by Sri Aurobindo. Book 1, the Book of Beginnings. Canto 5, the Yoga of the King, the Yoga of the Spirit's freedom and greatness. Section 6. A border sovereign is the occult force. A threshold guardian of the earth scenes beyond. She has canalized the outbreaks of the gods and cut through vistas of intuitive sight, a long road of shimmering discoveries. The worlds of a marvelous unknown were near. Behind her, an ineffable presence stood. Her reign received their mystic influences. Their lion forces crouched beneath her feet. The future sleeps, unknown, behind their doors. Abysms infernal gaped round the soul's steps. And called to its mounting vision peaks divine. An endless climb and adventure of the idea. There tirelessly tempted the explorer mind. And countless voices visited the charmed ear. A million figures passed and were seen no more. This was a forefront of God's thousandfold house. Beginnings of the half-screened invisible. A magic porch of entry glimmering, quivered in a penumbra of screened light. A court of the mystical traffic of the worlds, a balcony and miraculous facade. Above her lightened high immensities, all the unknown looked out from boundlessness. It lodged upon an edge of hourless time, gazing out of some everlasting now. Its shadows gleaming with the birth of gods, its bodies signaling the bodiless, its foreheads glowing with the oversoul, its forms projected from the unknowable, its eyes dreaming of the ineffable, its faces staring into eternity. Life in him learned its huge subconscient rear. The little fronts unlocked to the unseen vasts. Her gulf stood nude, her far transcendences flamed in transparencies of crowded light. A giant order was discovered here, of which the tassel and extended fringe are the scant stuff of our material lives. This overt universe whose figures hide the secrets merge in superconscient light, wrote clear the letters of its glowing code. A map of subtle signs surpassing thought, was hung upon a wall of inmost mind. Illumining the world's concrete images into significant symbols by its gloss. It offered to the intuitive exegete its reflex of the eternal mystery. Ascending and descending twixt life's poles, the serried kingdoms of the graded law, plunged from the everlasting into time. Then, glad of a glory of multitudinous mind, and rich with life's adventure and delight, and packed with the beauty of matter's shapes and hues, climbed back from time into undying self, up a golden ladder carrying the soul, tying with diamond threads the spirit's extremes. In this drop from consciousness to consciousness, each leaned on the occult inconscient's power. The fountain of its needed ignorance, archmason of the limits by which it lives. In this soar from consciousness to consciousness, each lifted tops to that from which it came. Origin of all that it had ever been. And home of all that it could still become. An organ scale of the Eternal's acts, mounting to their climax in an endless calm, paces of the many-visaged wonderful, predestined stadia of the evolving way, measures of the stature of the growing soul, they interpreted existence to itself and mediating twixt the heights and deeps, united the veiled married opposites, and linked creation to the ineffable. A last high world was seen where all worlds meet. In its summit gleam, where night is not, nor sleep, the light began of the Trinity Supreme. All there discovered what it seeks for here. It freed the finite into boundlessness, and rose into its own eternities. The inconscient found its heart of consciousness, the idea and feeling groping in ignorance, at last clutched passionately the body of truth. The music, born in matter's silences, plucked nude out of the ineffable's fathomlessness, the meaning it had held but could not voice. The perfect rhythm, now only sometimes dreamed, an answer brought to the torn earth's hungry need, rending the night that had concealed the unknown, giving to her her lost, forgotten soul. A grand solution closed the long impasse. In which the heights of mortal effort end. A reconciling wisdom looked on life. It took the striving undertones of mind and took the confused refrain of human hopes and made of them a sweet and happy call. It lifted from an underground of pain the inarticulate murmur of our lives and found for it a sense illimitable. A mighty oneness, its perpetual theme, it caught the soul's faint, scattered utterances, read hardly twixt our lines of rigid thought, or mid this drowse and coma on matter's breast, heard like disjointed mutterings in sleep. It grouped the golden links that they had lost, and showed to them their divine unity. Saving from the error of divided self, the deep spiritual cry in all that is. All the great words that toil to express the one were lifted into an absoluteness of light, an ever-burning revelation's fire, and the immortality of the eternal voice. There was no quarrel more of truth with truth. The endless chapter of their differences retold in light by an omniscient scribe, travelled through difference towards unity. Mind's winding search lost every tinge of doubt. Led to its end by an all-seeing speech. That garbed the initial and original thought with the finality of an ultimate phrase. United were time's creative mood and tense to the style and syntax of identity. A paean swelled from the lost musing deeps. An anthem pealed to the triune ecstasies. A cry of the moments to the immortal's bliss. As if the strophes of a cosmic ode a hierarchy of climbing harmonies peopled with voices and with visages. Aspired in a crescendo of the gods, from matter's abysses to the spirit's peaks. Above were the immortal's changeless seats. White chambers of dalliance with eternity, and the stupendous gates of the alone. Across the unfolding of the seas of self, appeared the deathless countries of the One. A many-miracled consciousness unrolled, vast aim and process and unfettered norms. A larger nature's great familiar roads. Affranchised from the net of earthly sense, calm continents of potency were glimpsed. Homelands of beauty shut to human eyes. Half seen at first through wonder's gleaming lids, surprised the vision with felicity. Sunbelts of knowledge, moonbelts of delight, stretched out in an ecstasy of widenesses. Beyond our indigent corporeal range. There he could enter, there a while abide. A voyager upon uncharted routes, fronting the viewless danger of the unknown, adventuring across enormous realms, he broke into another space and time.